Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? On this episode of Money in Life TV, we're going to take a look at the new 2018 Irs Draft Tax Forms. And honestly, I've looked at them and they look kind of weird. Now, I will point out that these are only in draft form, so they could still change based on what we're looking at here on screen here in just a second. The way to find this, and I'm going to include links in the description section below, but if you just type in 2018, let's see if I can type here on screen, Irs Draft Forms into Google and hit enter, this first link right here is going to take you to a special spot on the IRS website where you can look at draft versions of tax forms. Every single year, the IRS typically updates new forms, and every single year, you can find them on this part of the website. I'll leave a link for you guys in the description section down below. So let's look at the main tax form, the 1040. This is what it looks like. So part of this looks similar, but you'll notice that there's a lot of changes to it. Now, typically, on a 2017 form, you would have your name, address information, dependents, your income information, and then adjustments to gross income. You'll see here on the first page, you're really just going to have your name, address, dependents, and just, you guys are thinking, well, you had heard that personal exemptions were going away, and for the most part, they have. So you're probably thinking, yes, I can finally get rid of those crazy, complicated qualifying child rules and qualifying relative rules. They're still going to be into play. In fact, you're just going to use them differently. But the rules, the same set of rules for qualifying child, to claim a qualifying child, are going to be used now to help you claim the child tax credit. So they said, we've made these really complicated rules. Let's not throw them away. Let's just use them for something else. So they're using them now for the child tax credit. So as you guys can see, your basic information is going to go here. But notice there's no income detail like there used to be. It just ends right here. They're supposed to be trying to simplify things to make it easier for people to file their taxes, which is a good thought. It is. You'll notice that they didn't even use the whole page. So if you want to print this now, you're going to notice there's several pages you would have to print, and there's all this blank space. Hey guys, I want to make a quick correction here because as I went back and I watched this video, I realized I needed to clarify some things. The reason there is so much space on page 1 and 2 of this new draft 1040 is because it's supposed to be a postcard. It's supposed to be front and back. So that's why there's that blank space there. Now, on the front of the postcard, you have your name and address information and things like that. And then on the back side of the postcard, you have your basic income information, adjustments, etc. They're supposed to simplify things, or that's the idea behind all this. So what they've done is on the first 2 pages, it's basically supposed to be a postcard, but to compensate for leaving out the other lines, like for real estate income, business income, credits, and other deductions, they've added 6 new schedules to have to keep track of now. So I'm not really sure how much they simplified things. Let's go ahead and continue with the video. And look, this is now the second page of the 1040, as far as this draft form goes. Now you're seeing, okay, well, here's my wages. Let me zoom in for you guys. Here's my wages. Here's my tax-exempt interest, dividends, pensions, etc., Social Security. Notice a big difference. I don't see real estate income or rental real estate income or income from partnerships and things like that. I do not see income from a business. So if you're a sole proprietor or self-employed, you're not going to see it. Whereas on the 2017 1040, you would totally see all that right there on the first page. I think they're doing that because they saying, hey, look, this is what most people have. This is what the majority of Americans, this is the forms of income they have. They have wages, they might have some interest, they might have some dividends, they have some 401k or IRA distributions coming on, which would go right here, and they have Social Security. And so I think that's why they did that. And I think that's why they kept other stuff separate from that. But I don't know, I'm just speculating here. And then, as you can see here, it goes right on to the standard deduction, which is right on the second page, which is kind of cool. And then here's I want to point this out, the qualified business income deduction. That's the very complicated 199A deduction. I was wondering where they're going to put that, where apparently it's going to show up on the second page of this new 1040. So let's move on down the line here. So then you have your tax. Then you have your child tax credit if you qualify, total tax, etc. Refundable credits, like your earned income credit, and so on and so forth. And then whether or not you get a refund or if you're overpaid would show up right there. Okay, let's look at a whole new form now, and it's called Schedule 1. So remember that, Schedule 1. So all those other income items we were just talking about that are no longer on the first page of the 1040 are now going to be found on this whole Schedule 1 thing. And you're going to see here there's taxable refund and credits. Here's your alimony, your business income. So if you're sole proprietor, that's where you're going to report your total income, your capital gains from sales of stocks or from sales of business property and so on and so forth, because there's your 4797 right there. These, if it says reserved, it basically means they haven't figured out what they're going to put there yet. Rental income, so if you have rental properties and rental real estate, or if you get a K1 from a partnership, if you get a K1 statement from an S corporation, or just other income items, you're going to put them right there on line 17. And unemployment compensation is right there. So remember, when you're preparing your taxes this year, if you can't figure out where to put your other sources of income, go to Schedule 1. It's pretty much going to have it there for you. Also on Schedule 1, you're going to see your adjustments to income, as you guys can see here. IRA deductions, student loan interest deductions, and things like that, which is very familiar as, the current 1040 for 2017. All right, now let's go on to Schedule 2. There's several new schedules. So Schedule 2. Schedule 2, it looks like they still have some work to do on this. But as you guys can see here, it only says tax. And for lines 38 and 44, they haven't figured out what they're going to put here. But there's alternative minimum tax here in line 45. We can't get rid of that, can we? Excess advanced premium tax credit repayment. And there's only a couple line items. So I don't know if they're going to consolidate some of this stuff and narrow down the schedules, because look how much blank space there is here, guys. If they keep it this way, we're going to be printing a lot of extra pages if you actually want a printed copy of your tax return. I feel like the IRS is using the whole grocery store approach or department store approach to their tax forms. So the grocery store, you go there for several months, and then after a while, they start to move things around on you, see if they can get you lost. They start moving the bread on the other side of the store. They move the rice. They move the ketchup. And so you're wandering all throughout the store. Then let's go on to Schedule 3. Schedule 3 is for non-refundable credits. So there's a foreign tax credit. There's the credit for child-dependent care expenses, education credits, retirement savings contribution credits, residential energy credit, etc. Let's go on to Schedule 4 is other taxes. So here's your self-employment tax. There it is. It's hiding on Schedule 4. So let's see. So Schedules 2 and Schedules 4 are other for taxes, are different kinds of taxes. And then looking at Schedule 5 real quick. So we see that this is for other payments and refundable credits. So we have our 2018 tax payments, amounts applied from the previous year. We have our net premium tax credit. We have amounts paid with extensions, excess Social Security, credit on federal tax or on fuels, and so on and so forth. Let's take a quick look at the itemized deduction schedule now, because it looks pretty similar as in years past. However, there are a few differences. So you'll notice one of the key differences right away is the new limitation on on SALT, which is your state income taxes, your property taxes, and things like that. You can see right here, it says enter the smaller of line 10,000, 5,000 if married filing separately. Because you're limited to 10,000 now on your state income taxes, your property taxes, and things of that nature. Real quickly, guys, you might be wondering, what about interest and dividends? Well, for the most part, I haven't noticed any significant changes here. For Schedule B, it looks pretty much the same as it used to. There might be some verbiage differences down here that I haven't noticed just yet. So Schedule B. What about Schedule D for stock sales? It looks pretty much the same. I haven't noticed any major changes yet, but you can see here it looks very similar to in years past. I also looked at the Schedule F if you're a farmer. It looks pretty much the same. Schedule C looks the same. So there's a lot of forms are pretty much remaining the same. They haven't really updated too much, but the main forms, which I just pointed out for you guys, is the 1040 and the 1040 page 2. The Schedule 1 is for additional income and adjustments to income. Schedule 2 is for taxes. Schedule 3 is for non-refundable credits. Schedule 4 is for other taxes. And Schedule 5 is for other payments and refundable credits. So I just wanted to give you guys that quick preview. The IRS is trying to use the grocery store approach and move all things around. Like I said, their plan is to simplify this for the average person. I don't want to give my opinion on that yet, because I'm kind of excited to prepare the new taxes under these new forms. and see if it's actually easier to prepare. My only thought so far is that I feel like I'm going to have to jump around a lot to figure out where the heck things are at. So it's going to take me a while to get used to it. Okay guys, I just want to give you a brief heads up that this is what's coming down the pipe unless the IRS changes the format to these draft forms. This is what your 2018 1040 is going to start to look like. So just be mindful of that. It's going to be changing, things are going to be different, so it might take you a little bit longer than normal to prepare your taxes. Well, with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like. Be sure to subscribe if you're not already. You guys know this channel on Money Life TV is all about teaching you finances, investing, and taxes so you can be fiscally fit. Well, until next time, guys, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Now, remember to take this information and use it to live your life uncaged. Bye, guys. Peace.